Hey, and welcome back. Can I make a brand with AI tools? Not letting AI tools do all the work, but helping me do my work. Can I use AI tools to augment my design process so I can become a better version of myself? Let's find out and jump right into it. So I made a brand of aquavit canned cocktails named Clara, but how did I get here? I had to write the creative brief first, but to do that, I used my creative brief generator. So this was a vibe coding experiment. If I had the time, I could put in my project name, my client name, my brand name, and I could answer 8 questions. Now, you would want to do this after talking to your client for an hour and really put some thoughtful answers into here about the business, the mission, the vision, the target audience, the unique selling proposition, the competitors, the brand personality and the desired perception, the project goals and success metrics, and scope and deliverables. Of course, the more information you put in here, the better. But then you would hit generate creative brief. But with that information, I told Gemini to act as a seasoned creative director and write a brief for me, which I was really happy with. I'll put a link down in the description below to this generator if you want to try it out yourself, as well as the brief that it wrote. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I'll highlight a couple of the pieces. Clara is a premium ready-to-drink aquavit cocktail, and it taps into après culture, the lifestyle trend of having a specific, often slightly elevated drink to enjoy after an activity, whether it's hiking, skiing, gallery hopping, or just a long day at work. Clara is the perfect après anything sip, and gave me lots of great details about the logo, the color palette, the typography, the style, the subject matter, what to avoid, packaging design. In short, it was a great brief that gave me lots of creative direction. It felt like I just hired my boss. So with that in mind, I'm using a new tool called Alisa, or thealisa.com. It's only in beta right now, but I'll put a link down in the description below. I strongly recommend you check it out and get on their list because this is the best tool that I've used so far. I absolutely love it. But it, like most of the other tools right now, contains a bunch of different models. So if you see here, I can use Flux or GPT or Recraft or Imagen or Ideogram or Seed Dream. If you're going to pay for an image generator, make sure you use one like this, or OpenArt does this, and FreePic does this, and Krea does it, and Recraft does it, so that you have lots of different models to choose from so you can compare and contrast to see which one produces the best images. So I generated a bunch of images from a bunch of these tools, and I put them all into my mood board. So not all of them were great. Here's some that I rejected. You know the problem with AI images. If they just look too AI, we just got to let them go. And I look at some competitor analysis of what makes for a sophisticated can. And I picked some typographic directions. And I tried some AI color palette generators, but I didn't like them. So I just picked my own damn colors. But most of these images, actually all of these images, are all AI generated, and I don't think you can tell. They look great. They give the feeling and the tone of the brand that I wanted. I was able to use Ideogram to generate a bunch of logo ideas. Normally I wouldn't do that, but if it's just proof of concept, I was pretty happy with what came out. I used Recraft to generate a bunch of vectors. This is great for generating vectors. And I felt that I could get the spirit of the brand really quickly. From there, the promise. Clara offers a taste of Scandinavian sophistication and warmth in a convenient can, inviting customers to slow down, connect with friends, and embrace the spirit of going outside. These are the 4 terms that I'm trying to design around, as well as the hex colors. This is what it feels like to go outside in the winter. This is actually the only non-AI generated image in the entire block. I got that from a web image search. The feeling of being outdoors, the beauty of natural light and landscapes, some vector shapes that convey the idea of botanicals, authentic heritage, extending those vectors into possible social media strategy, the concept of hygge or coziness and comfort inside with friends, and then the final mark, and then a final revision of the can and extending that into merchandise. All of this done with AI tools, all of it done really quickly and looking like a professional brand polished presentation. Could it be better? Yes, but for a couple hours of my time, I'm really happy with the result that it gave me. I then jumped over to attempt to try to put this into some AI website generating tools. Lovable did a great job. I simply typed in my brief and specified the Google fonts that I wanted, which it got correctly, and uploaded some images. It wrote the copy, it created the layout, it talked about the things that I wanted. It has nice hover states. The design looks pretty elegant. and it's responsive, and the hamburger menu works. So great job, Lovable, except it looks exactly like the Chato Tea websites that I designed with it a couple weeks ago. It's following a cookie cutter sort of template. If you just needed to show proof of concept to your client in a day, this would be fantastic. But if you really wanted to design something AI can't quite really design for you yet. I also built a layout in Figma, which I didn't show you, but I connected that Figma layout to builder.io, and it got what I wanted, but it just looks a little janky and crowded and uncomfortable. It did reproduce what I wanted. It did make it responsive and understand my auto layouts, but I'm not loving it either. Then the last thing I did is I went back into the Elisa tool and I generated a bunch of video. I was able to say, take this can and take this image of the woman and combine them into a single image and extend that into video. Let's take a look at the entire full commercial that I made after this.
Some days call for more than just routine. They call for new horizons, for the exhilaration of discovery, and for moments that truly take your breath away. After the climb, the current, or simply a day well lived, Clara is the perfect après adventure drink. There's a warmth that only shared experience can bring. A Scandinavian spirit, now in a modern sip. Discover something new. Clara, go beyond the horizon.
So there it is, building a brand with AI tools. I used Recraft, I used Runway, I used Elisa, I used Flux Context, I used a whole bunch of tools. I aggregated those results and I combined them into something I think which is pretty interesting. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.